Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's episode of Langer at the Mic, where once again we are joined by Justin Pooni of Process Sports Radio to preview NFL Week 13. How's it going today, Justin?
I'm good, Mike. How are you doing today?
Good as usual, man. As usual, I ask: is everyone's doing well at home and safe and healthy?
Yes, Mike. I talk to the family back home in Vancouver every day. Everybody's doing well. Everybody's staying healthy. I hope your family in Montreal and wherever your family may live is all doing well as well.
We're doing swell, and obviously to those out there listening, we wish the same for you and your families as well. He is Justin Poon. You can follow him at Process Sports on Instagram, at underscore Process Sports on Twitter. I'm Mike Langer on Twitter and Instagram, and as usual, subscribe to our channels. Give us a big thumbs up on this video. But once again, today we will be making our glorified Week 13 NFL picks. So right off the bat, we don't have Thursday Night Football because the Cowboys-Ravens game got postponed to Tuesday because of the COVID-19 outbreak that has gone on within the Baltimore Ravens locker room. So, and Lamar Jackson, there's still no official word whether or not he will start, but we will get to that in our Shine in Prime Time segment. But right off the bat, Justin, we're going to do our 8 in 80 seconds right off the bat, rapid fire.
Perfect.
All right.
Right
I'm
off
going to
the
let you
shoot.
go first this time. I'm going to put you on the spot right here. Yeah. So you
Thank
better
you,
be
Mike.
ready.
I do want to know if you. I don't know if you have it handy, but what was my results from last week? I was kind of wondering what that.
I actually do have it handy here. I could pull it up. Putting me on the spot here now.
Yeah, I just want to know.
Of course. So Justin, you're right with Houston over. Or no, these are my picks, not your picks. My bad. So I actually don't have it in front of me.
That's
But
okay.
actually,
That's okay.
but I'm a bit of a. But I was actually right on almost everything except for Dallas over Washington, and my lock was LA over San Fran, and that was just
Yeah.
bad on my part. But I was right with everything else. I told you Tom Brady and the Bucks would fall. I told you that.
Yes.
Yeah, I was right in picking the Titans, and yeah, just I was pretty good with the rest of my picks except for that lock. So I'll be careful with my picks this week.
All right. Well, let me go in whenever you're ready to start the timer. Let's go, Mike.
Yeah, 8 and 80 seconds in 3, 2, 1.
So first off, we have the Saints and the Falcons in an NFC South clash. Sorry, give me the Saints. Saints are much too talented. Even with Taysom Hill at quarterback, I'll take the Saints. Lions and Bears. Of course, the Lions just fired Matt Patricia, so give me the Bears on that one. Texans and Colts. Give me the Colts. Um, Again, the Colts are just much too talented. Deshaun Watson hasn't played really, really well lately, but give me the Colts for that. Raiders and Jets. Oh, come on, it's the Jets. I'll take the Raiders on that one. This one is going to be very good. Titans and Browns, the two best rushing attacks in football going at it. Nick Chubb, Derrick Henry going head to head. Give me the Titans in a close one because it is a home game for the Titans, and I do think they will come out with a victory, slight margin of victory. Dolphins and Bengals. Bengals, that's an easy choice. Vikings and Jaguars. I will take the Jaguars. The Vikings. The Vikings. Sorry, not the Jaguars. The Vikings, because I think the Vikings are kind of playing well right now. Cardinals and Rams. I think the Rams take another loss, and the Cardinals bounce back after a tough loss against New England. Seahawks and Giants. Give me the Seahawks all day for that one. Packers and Eagles. I will take the Packers. And finally, final two. Give me the Patriots over the Chargers, and then on Monday night in the afternoon, Steelers will go to 12-0 against Washington.
All right, so right off the top there, Justin, we're gonna have a lot of interesting differences in our picks. I'm gonna bring. I'll like to focus a little bit more on the Titans Browns game a little bit later on our show, but without further ado, I will give you my 8 to win in 80 seconds. So, and give me a countdown whenever you're ready, there, Justin.
Let me just pull. You want me to time you, Mike?
Yes, please.
You got it. Give me 1 second here. Ready, Mike?
Whenever you are.
3, 2, 1, go.
So unlike what you said, I'm actually going to take Atlanta over the Saints in this one because, I mean, I just can Taysom Hill really keep it going that long? I don't know. I'm going to take Detroit over Chicago, the Lions over the Bears, because there's something to be said about teams firing their head coach, their toxic head coach, Matt Patricia in this case for Detroit, and then coming back strong and winning. So I take Detroit over Chicago. Matt Stafford better on the road than at home as well, from what I see. And Las Vegas Raiders over Jets. Enough said. The Jets are going 0-16. I have the Colts over the Houston Texans. I think Deshaun Watson and Houston can definitely win this one, but at the end of the day, the Colts defense is just will be much better than they were last week against Tennessee. So give me the Colts. Dolphins over Bengals. Bengals don't have a quarterback, so pretty much that's it. Vikings over Jags. I mean, the Jags could win because I don't know what these Vikings team is this season, but the Vikings I think will take care of business. Give me the Green Bay Packers over the Eagles because the Eagles are just awful, and Carson Wentz is going to throw at least another interception or 2 or 3 in this one. And finally, give me the Pittsburgh Steelers staying undefeated over Washington in on Monday night afternoon or Monday afternoon football.
Wow, Mike, that was very rapid. That was not even just about 70 seconds.
Yeah, I usually go over, but yeah,
Very
that's
efficient, Mike. Very efficient.
I'm working on it. Yes, thank you.
Very good.
So let's get into our first segment, or our second segment, rather, and that is who will shine in prime time. So at Sunday night football, we have the Chiefs taking on the Denver Broncos. We have the San Francisco 49ers at home, or actually not at home, in Arizona against Buffalo due to
Their new home of
their
Arizona.
new home, exactly, hosting the Buffalo Bills. And then you have the Baltimore Ravens in Maryland or against the Dallas Cowboys. And again, Lamar Jackson's status is unknown at this point. So yeah, I might have just given away my pick ball there, but it's all good. But yeah, Justin, who do you have shining in prime time?
I think the Bills. I think the Bills are going to beat the 49ers and beat them quite handily, in my opinion. They're really going to cement themselves as moving up into that Pittsburgh, Kansas City tier of elite teams in the AFC, in my opinion. I really think that I like what the Bills are doing. Um, I don't know about you, but I was a little bit hesitant after Pittsburgh's win against the Ravens. They look kind of suspect, kind of sloppy and stuff like that. That might have just been a delay of the whole COVID situation, stuff like that. But and I don't think the Chiefs can really prove much against the Broncos. I think that's a pretty easy victory for the Chiefs, especially when they're rolling the way they are. And then, like I said, if Baltimore's fully healthy, they have to beat the Cowboys. So for me, the team the most to prove and the most to gain from this is going to be the Buffalo Bills. And I definitely think I like, of course, Josh Allen, Stephon Diggs. Their defense is going to start to come around too. So I'll take the Bills to shine the most in prime time.
Excellent. And once again, I just find myself just doubting the Bills all year and being wrong. But you know what? I'm going to doubt them again because the 49ers right now, they're getting healthier. They just came off a really big win against the LA Rams. They just aren't going to
Seahawks out a lot with that win.
Yeah, they're just not dying, the 49ers. They just won't go down. They're just coming back, and they're just they got crushed by Green Bay on Thursday Night Football a couple weeks ago, sure, but again, they're playing tough football games right now,
And
and
it shows you, it's a true testament to how good of a coach Kyle Shanahan is to keep this team still competitive in games where, they could have just rolled over and died pretty much once they hit all those injuries. Of course, Kittle, Garoppolo, their defensive line's been just eviscerated with injuries, right? It's just a true testament how Robert Saleh and Kyle Shanahan can mold this team and keep them fighting up and still in the thick of the playoff race.
not only that though, but also their defense. Their defense is getting healthier again.
Most
I mean,
definitely.
yeah, pretty sure they lost Nick Bosa for the year, but still, just that the way they're coached, both on the offensive and defensive side of the ball, like you said, is just what's the reason why they're still alive at this point in the season. By the way, in the Chiefs game, Denver doesn't really have much of a chance there unless maybe, God forbid, knock on wood, Patrick Mahomes gets injured. But just, yeah, give me the Chiefs in that Sunday night game. And yeah, like I said, I have the 49ers beating the Buffalo Bills in Arizona once again. And I just think it's going to be a close, sloppy type of game. Josh Allen has not been as good throwing the ball recently, but he could still rush it in, of course. He's still putting up decent numbers in terms of touchdown passes. He has a quarterback rating over 100, and he is arguably or pretty well in the MVP race right now. But I still I just think the 49ers are going to keep things going from their previous win against the Rams. So give me the 49ers on Monday Night Football. And then on Tuesday Night Football, I don't know if I'm allowed to do this, but if it's Lamar Jackson starting for the Ravens, give me Baltimore over Dallas. But if it's not Lamar Jackson, if it's going to be either RG3 or Trace McSorley, I think that might be a win for Dallas right there. I
know what? If it depends on exactly, it depends on the health of Lamar Jackson. But if RG3 or McSorley has to play, I definitely think your Cowboys might have a chance to win and get right back into it again with this division race.
Don't put that evil on me though. Oh my, I don't even want to be. I don't want the Cowboys to burden the shame of winning the NFC East this year. But yeah, just if I just do think that the Cowboys, from whether if it's a team that showed up against the Vikings 2 weeks ago, they definitely have a chance. But if it's the team that has been there for the previous 9-10 weeks of the season, and the same team that showed up against the Washington football team on Thanksgiving, well then yeah, give me Baltimore. So I would, you know what, I'll just say Baltimore. Baltimore will shine in prime
Oh, the
time.
safe pick. I like that.
Yeah, safe pick. Even yeah, like Lamar Jackson if he plays, just him and J.K. Dobbins if he's back, or even Gus Edwards will find a way to run wild all over the Cowboys, who just don't have an answer in stopping the running game this year, except when they played Pittsburgh. So
Exactly.
yeah, just give me Baltimore, and they'll find a way to run wild on the Cowboys, and the Cowboys just won't put up enough points on offense. Simple.
I think like you said, touch on that. It's just we know that Baltimore's pretty desperate. Like this is like they're 6-5 on the year, and if they want to even make the playoffs, they have this as a must-win game for them, right? They're already behind Cleveland in their division. They're not going to catch Pittsburgh, right? It's
After
basically
going
make or break.
14-2 last year, they're
For
14
exactly
and 2.
14-2 to 6-5. It just shows you how smart NFL coaches are to catch on to that Ravens scheme and stymie that whole rushing attack, right? And
But also
Lamar
health. You got
Jackson has,
yeah, you got to
of
point to
course,
health
health too,
also.
right?
Yeah.
Of course, health as well. But you know, I think this kind of shows how, for me personally, I think that kind of shows that Baltimore needs a guy on the outside that they can throw the ball to, that can
Mhm.
be that bell cow on the wide receiving side. I think we touched about it a couple weeks ago
Last
as
week how they
well,
have
but I
no
definitely think,
yeah,
yeah,
we
I just
mentioned last
think,
week how they have no receivers, no weapons outside of
yeah,
Marquise Brown, who's like a boomer bust type of guy, right?
exactly,
So
exactly. And if you look at it, most elite quarterbacks in this game have that go-to wideout, right? You look at Tyreek Hill, Mahomes, Kelsey Mahomes, right? Metcalf, Wilson, whoever, right? So
Adams, Aaron
it's definitely
Rodgers.
exactly.
But yeah, just maybe if the Ravens can get that guy in 2021 in the off season, then absolutely they could come back and be
Hey,
a really strong contender next year.
hey, maybe Mr. Throw Up the X himself, Des Bryant catches a few balls in this game upcoming against the Cowboys.
That would be amazing. Yeah. How could I have not mentioned that? I really should.
Yes,
Yeah.
how could you not
Thanks
have
for
mentioned that
bringing
Des
that
Bryant is
up.
playing against the
Of
Cowboys?
course, of course. That will be a huge story in that game. And
Yeah,
yes, I definitely do hope Dez throws up the X once or twice against his former Dallas
definitely.
Cowboys. But yeah, now let's move to our next segment, the GOAT of the week. So, Justin, I'll let you go first. I have mine ready, but I'm going to put you on the spot
The
again.
GOAT of the week this week. I was thinking about this. There's so many different options of who it could be. I know I picked the Saints to win this game, but I think Taysom Hill is going to be the GOAT of the week simply because they're finally going to stop. Like, I finally think that Taysom Hill is finally going to get exposed for not being a true quarterback, right? I think, I think the Saints win this game, but they win it off the back of Jameis Winston. I think Jameis Winston comes in relief and
Ooh.
leads the Saints to a win. How do you like that for a
Interesting.
storyline?
Interesting.
Yes.
Wow. You didn't. I don't
I
think you did.
think that
You didn't mention that before, right?
I did not mention that,
Yeah.
no, but
Wow.
what's it called? I think that Taysom Hill in this game finally gets, because usually in Denver, he didn't put a very good, all right numbers and stuff like that. But I finally think that Taysom Hill, they catch on to him and they realize that he is not a quarterback. He's a gadget player. I know that might be kind of a controversial thing to say, but I just really believe Taysom Hill is not a true quarterback. Um, Now you can prove me wrong, but I definitely think that this is going to be his downfall, and Jameis Winston's going to do a la Teddy Bridgewater, come in and have success in New Orleans.
So Jameis Winston is your GOAT of the week.
I think so.
All right. Well,
Yeah.
not very confident with that, but we'll take
I
it.
mean, it's Jameis Winston, but I think that is I'm going to go for that storyline. He's my go to the week.
Of course, and you know one thing to watch in that game also, if Jameis Winston does come in, Atlanta forced the Raiders into so many turnovers last week,
Four
and they didn't even
turnovers,
get
yeah.
a touchdown in
Exactly.
Atlanta last week. So that might have maybe found something that works under Raheem
Yeah.
Morris.
I really like what Raheem Morris is doing on. I think he kind of brought a new energy into Atlanta, and they're kind of getting that once all that bad baggage with Dan Quinn was kind of removed. You kind of see them kind of playing better the Falcons.
And that's what I'm saying. Same thing with Houston. Like when
Yep.
teams fire
Under
their toxic head coaches,
Romeo
like
Crennel,
it
yeah.
lights a fire under them sometimes.
Exactly.
So But yeah, we'll see if Jameis Winston will be your GOAT. My GOAT of this week will be Kyler Murray and the Cardinals, who we've forgotten about a little bit after they lost to Seattle and they also lost to the Patriots in a very tight,
Patriots.
close
Yep.
game in Foxborough. But this is the Cardinals at home this year. They came back and beat your Seahawks. They came back and beat the Bills.
Bills.
And I just see Kyler Murray doing it again against the LA Rams, who again I locked them to beat the 49ers last week, but I don't know if Jared Goff, I believe in Sean McVay. I believe in that defense, but again, I don't believe in Jared Goff. And
Mm-hmm.
when Jared Goff has to perform, well, he's due for an interception or a fumble, or like he'll throw for all the yards that he'll throw for. He'll throw for 300, 400 yards, sure, but is he ever going to? It will never. I feel like it rarely comes without at least one or two interceptions. So
Exactly.
yeah,
I have a,
so
I have a cool,
yeah, just I
sorry,
was gonna
mate.
say. So my go to the week is Kyler Murray and the Cardinals coming back to win against the LA Rams at home with a game-winning field goal, or maybe not a Hail Mary, but a game-winning touchdown with little time left. Give me Kyler Murray and the Arizona Cardinals as my go to the week.
Sounds good. But like the one thing I was gonna touch on about Goff, I just like your point on what you were saying is the other thing about Goff, he's not a mobile quarterback, right? So he can't gut out of the pocket and make those plays that Kyler Murray can make, right? So I definitely agree with you on that sentiment. I just want to say I agree with you on that sentiment.
Yeah, and Goff is not a statue, but he's no Patrick Mahomes. He's no Lamar Jackson. He's
And
no
we
like he's
know, I think Jared Goff he's a very good quarterback, but he's also a system quarterback based off McVay's
for sure.
exquisite play calling, right?
Yeah, and I meant in terms of mobility, of course, because yeah,
Yeah,
Lamar
yeah.
Jackson and Mahomes, we know that they're way above Jared Goff. But anyway, so that's the go to the week. Now we're gonna get into our donkey of the week, and you know what? I will go first in this one because I did tease this before about that Tennessee and Tennessee Titans and Cleveland Browns matchup. Both teams 8-3. I did a whole write up. Both did a whole write up about this for Chris Zelkovich of
We did,
CSM.
yes. I
Yes.
mine's not done yet. I still have to finish it, but
Oh, you have about 9 hours left to finish it,
nine
but
hours. Don't worry. I think I got it covered.
yeah. But to me, I am going to take for the donkey of the week. I will take Baker Mayfield, and the Cleveland Browns will be the donkey of this week because they have only beaten one team above 500 this year, and that was when they beat the Indianapolis Colts because they got obliterated by the Steelers. They got obliterated by the Ravens, and they lost in a tight game, but low scoring game at home against the Las Vegas Raiders. And even in last week's game against the Jacksonville Jaguars, Baker Mayfield just missed a completely wide open touchdown pass. And to me, now that they're playing like a really good team in the Tennessee Titans, who they lost to the Bengals one week, but they also just destroyed the Bills. They beat the Ravens in overtime.
Derrick Henry ran over the Colts
Derrick
last week.
Henry, yeah, just running over every single team. Derrick Henry has a 20-yard or more run in I think it's six of the last seven games.
Yeah.
So
Well,
Derrick Henry will be a force in this one, and to me the X factor though is the fact that Derrick Henry again will do what he does, but Ryan Tannehill can also burn the Browns defense with AJ Brown, and actually AJ Brown he might not play,
he's
but still
questionable.
I see the Titans offense. Tannehill leads the league in play action passing yards likely because of Derrick Henry, but Baker Mayfield, I don't know if the Browns can do it all with the running game in this one. And if it's going to come down to Baker Mayfield winning the game for them, I don't think he could do it. So that's why the Cleveland Browns are going to lose to the Titans, and Baker Mayfield will once again be the donkey of this week.
But the one thing you forgot to mention is that Cleveland's going to get a huge bolster on their defense this week because Mr. Miles Garrett's going to be back, right? So I mean that might play a factor in this as well because he can disrupt the line of scrimmage and win those battles as he is. Because Miles Garrett is one of the premier edge rushers, premier defensive lineman in the game, right? That's why although I picked Tennessee to win, I did think it was gonna be a closer game because, like you said, the Browns have a great rushing attack with Kareem Hunt and Nick Chubb. They can control the clock in that aspect, but also because Miles Garrett's coming back.
But can Miles Garrett play quarterback?
No, which is what I see your point. We're saying that if it comes down to a play that Baker can make, can he make that big throw? Can he make that big play? Right. So I see your arguments on that. I see your arguments on that.
So who's your donkey of the week,
So
Justin?
my donkey of the week is going to be You're gonna really like this one, Mike. You're really, really gonna like this. It's
Tell me.
Carson Wentz.
Oh yeah. Of
I
course.
think this is the last week Carson Wentz starts a game for the Philadelphia Eagles.
Really.
I think this week it just goes awful because he's playing the Green Bay Packers and Aaron Rodgers and another I think it's the 425 game, right?
Yeah,
It's
it's
gonna be
the
America's
425
game of
game
the week or whatever,
in
right?
Lambeau.
Right? And Lambeau Field, and that's it. He's Doug Peterson's gonna throw him out there, and Carson Wentz is gonna do Carson Wentz things, and I can see guys like Jair Alexander, Kevin King, and those guys feasting off him. It's not going to be pretty. It's going to be a massacre at Lambeau, and I don't think Carson Wentz is going to make it out of Lambeau Field in Green Bay, Wisconsin, as a starting quarterback of the Philadelphia Eagles anymore. And it'll be Jalen Hurts taking over the team. So my
Wentz took
donkey
how many sacks in that loss to Seattle last week? It was six.
six sacks, yeah.
Yeah,
And
with
I
the
think
with
what
this.
Zadarius Smith, Preston Smith, shouldn't be eating on him. So I was a big Wentz fan. I thought Wentz was uberly talented, but this year, like I told you last week, I just not. He's just. I don't know how he went from an MVP candidate to being one of the worst quarterbacks in the league. And I think it's pretty much it's time for a change for him. And I think Jalen Hurts is going to come in and perhaps give the Philadelphia Eagles a boost. Not this week, maybe in weeks ahead to propel him to a division title or whatever. But Carson Wentz is definitely my donkey of the week.
So two things, and well, kind of one thing, and I'm gonna try to answer your question. Carson Wentz was never that good, though. He was an MVP candidate, sure, in 2017, yes. But I
Yeah.
think that was also because Doug Peterson is a really good head coach, because he had a really good offensive line, he had a really good running game, he had really good receivers, he had a really good defense. He had everything around him, just like everyone was
But
saying about Dak Prescott. And
even last year too, like last year Carson Wentz had nobody, and he still dragged that team to the playoffs,
but who
right?
did they beat? They beat crappy Washington and really bad New York Giants to do that. They also lost to Miami and they got destroyed by Dallas earlier in the year. And yes, sure, they beat Dallas late in the year when the Cowboys were going through their whole BS with coaching, and Dak also had an injured throwing shoulder in that game as well. So to me, and the reason why I did not take the Eagles as my donkey of the week, because they're pretty much the donkeys every single week with Carson Wentz. So I'm just trying to mix it up a little bit here.
Oh wow.
Like it's gone to the point where the Eagles, where Carson Wentz being bad is is the norm right now. It has been normalized. We have or Carson Wentz in his play has normalized just himself being bad, because that's where it's at right now. And like you said, it's just a matter of time before Jalen Hurts takes over for Carson Wentz under center, or Doug Peterson gets fired. One has to happen, or both are going to happen.
Yeah, I think the Eagles definitely need to change, whether that's either a Wentz or Peterson, one of the two. For me, I think you would change Wentz, even though it is going to take a huge cap hit. Do I think they're really going to do that? No, because it's easier to fire a coach than swallow a huge cap hit for Carson Wentz. But I definitely think that Pennsylvania is no more in Philadelphia.
I like that. And I don't think it ever was. I was more about Nick Foles, if anything, or it should have been.
I think that really gets overanalyzed way too much. I think Nick Foles got hot for a couple weeks, and the end it was one of the best hot streaks you ever see. Just happened to be in the playoffs and in the Super Bowl
Twice. 2 years in a row. I mean, it
Well,
didn't.
yeah, the second year he did lead him back to the playoffs, and then they did. That's when they beat
They beat the Bears off the triple
Bears
doink.
off the double doink, and then they lost to New Orleans.
Yeah, that's it. And yeah, so let's go right back on track though. We're gonna end with our brainlessly bold prediction. Oh, and there's actually one thing I want to say about that. Someone else got hot at the right time twice. That was Eli Manning. So but that could be a whole other video and whole
Yeah,
other
Eli Manning, total other debate topic.
Yeah, well, it could be a whole other Langer at the mic or Process
Yeah,
Sports radio show.
exactly. Eli
Yeah,
Manning.
we're gonna end with our brainlessly bold prediction. And man, I feel like I could do this every single week. I took the Chargers last week and they made it close, but they lost. It feels like they lost that game against Buffalo on their own. They lost it instead of Buffalo beating them. And that's pretty much what they've been doing all year anyway. But you know what? I'm going to pick them again as my brainlessly bold prediction that they will beat the New England Patriots at home. They're playing at home this week, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, they're playing
Yes,
in
they are.
LA. Yep. So they're going to beat the New England Patriots, and Justin Herbert will throw 4 touchdown passes.
Are you crazy? Are you out of your mind?
Yes.
This is New England's first trip to Los Angeles in 28 years.
Wow. Wait, so when was the last time they played the Chargers?
The last time they played the Chargers, I don't remember the last time they played the Chargers, but I'm pretty sure the last time they played the Chargers was in New England.
I know they definitely played the Chargers in the division round of the
the playoffs.
Yeah,
2019 playoffs. But that was in New England.
Wow. If that's correct, like that's pretty impressive, pretty interesting.
Yeah.
28 years.
Wow.
But yeah, so for me, my brainlessly bold prediction is my Seattle Seahawks will stomp on the New York Giants by more than 10 points. Vegas has the line set at 10. This week, I am picking the Seahawks to win by more than 2 touchdowns against the Giants. And for all you Seahawks fans out there that know, that's a very bold prediction because the Seahawks will never play more than a one-possession game.
And you were actually right because, I mean, it looked like the Seahawks were going to beat the Eagles by 2 scores until the Eagles got a touchdown garbage time. But you're right. Yes, the Seahawks do not win games by more than a score. So
they do not win games by more than one possession. So this week, they're back home. Jamal Adams is healthy again. Carlos Dunlap is getting after the quarterback. Bobby Wagner is playing very well. DK Metcalf had a great game. Russell Wilson is playing much more conservative, protecting the ball more. Chris Carson's going to have another game under his belt. The Seahawks are rolling. The Seahawks will beat the Giants by more than 14 points.
Are you crazy? Are you out of your mind?
I look back at our show, and we did not get through the lock and load pick. So real quick, it's interesting you mentioned the Seahawks as your brainlessly bold prediction, winning by more than two scores. They are my lock and load pick of the week because they have not lost at home yet this year, and I don't see the Giants being able to beat them. Even if it's a close game, the Seahawks will do what they do and win close games, and Russell Wilson will cook enough, and Chris Carson being back as well will be a factor, and just I don't see Daniel Jones and that Giants offense putting enough points up.
I don't think Daniel Jones is playing last time I checked. I think it was maybe Colt McCoy playing, but I could be off.
True, because he got hurt last week. Yes, thank you. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. So I'm not totally sure. I think he's listed as questionable right now. But if I was the Giants, I would just sit Daniel Jones for this game because you were gonna lose anyway. Protect them and then go after that afterwards. But yeah, my lock of the week is I'm gonna go back to the Green Bay Packers. That they're gonna beat the Eagles. It's gonna be easy. And I'll take it to the bank and I'll cash the check on Monday morning.
All right, excellent. Well, once again, thank you so much for joining us on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. Once again, he's Justin Pooni of Process Sports Radio. I am Mike Lang of Langer at the Mic. Give us a big thumbs up on this video. Subscribe to our channels. Once again, Process Sports and Langer at the Mic here. This has been a NFL Week 13 preview here on Langer at the Mic. Thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you again next time.